This is Shawn Williams. I'm here in Suite 609 with Miss Black Texas USA, Miss Ocelia Gibson. Ocelia, thank you for coming by.
Thank you so much for the interview. I'm very glad to be here.
Yeah, so I want to just talk first off on how did you get interested in pageants?
Wow, really, my journey into pageantry, it didn't start very young, like many young women. Mine started actually when I was in high school. It started my junior year. I had a friend that had done the high school pageant, and she was like, you should do it next year. And I was like, no, that's not for me. And so she was like, I dare you to go ahead and do it. So I did it. I ended up placing as a finalist. And from there, I just got involved throughout college, helping to pay for school through scholarship pageants.
Okay.
And so that's what sparked my interest.
Okay, so you've been in pageants and you had some experience, and then you entered the Miss Black Texas pageant.
Yes.
So how did that come about?
Really, I entered, this was my third attempt at Miss Black Texas actually. I entered the summer between my sophomore and junior year, and that was my first attempt, and I ended up being second runner-up. And so a few years later, I waited a couple of years, I had done some other pageants in between, and so I went back in 2009 only to get second runner-up again.
Okay.
So I was devastated. I was like, oh goodness.
Bridesmaid number bride.
I know, that type of thing. And so I was like, okay, so I was very prayerful about my decision to come back one last time. I was like, okay, if I don't get it this year, then it must not be for me. I'm really going to put my best effort to do it this third time. And so I came back this year in 2010, and everything ended in my favor.
Well, tell me about the pageant. Is it, what are the criteria? What does the night consist of on pageant night?
Well, one of the things that you have to do leading up to the pageant is the Director's Award, where each contestant is required to do a fundraiser, a leadership event, and also community service. Also, kind of just showing how you would be as a title holder if you're equipped for the job. And then you have your personal interview once you get there, panel-style interview. You have on-stage question. You have fitness competition, not to be confused with swimsuit.
Okay, so what's the difference? Just so I know.
Fitness competition, we wear aerobic wear. I actually came out in a twirler presentation.
Like baton twirler?
Yeah, well see, I'm not a real twirler.
Right.
I just modeled as one.
Okay.
That was just my outfit.
Okay.
And so you can come up with any type of creative athletic or any type of dance wear presentation for your fitness competition to model in, but not swimsuit. And then also you have talent, and then you have evening gown competition.
Okay. So this was your third attempt, right? And
yes.
I'm sure you were standing on stage, nervous, wondering how it's going to
yes.
come out. What was it like when you heard your name called as the winner?
I think it was surreal. I barely remember it. I remember it, but then I don't. When they first called the first runner-up, that's how I knew it was me, because it was only two of us, standing there left. And I think the first thing I did was I screamed, and then I don't really remember what else I did after that point. I just think I was so excited and I was smiling. And performing to code 3 different times, for this to be my third attempt, this time to finally, to actually experience my goal and to accomplish it. It was surreal for me, and I was just so excited.
So what about, what you plan to do now that you are Miss Black Texas USA? What are your plans over the next year?
Yes, well, this year I plan to do a lot in the community. Actually, I have a nonprofit organization for girls called More Than a Pretty Face. And so I saw the opportunity to be Miss Black Texas as an opportunity for me to reach more girls on a wider scale. One of the things I plan to do is a speaking tour. I've been able to get into some high schools and middle schools recently, doing all-girls assembly. I want to continue that effort in various schools throughout the state, hopefully. That's what I want to do. And in addition to hosting some of my workshops and my conferences and summits for girls as well. So I think that would be the centerpiece of what I hope to accomplish as Miss Black Texas, is working with our girls of color.
So I know that you have a girls ministry and you work with girls. And so is there any conflict between that and being in pageants? Some might see that as a potential conflict. I was wondering how that jives.
Actually, everyone is pretty supportive of my pageant endeavors because they see me as a role model. And they see the fact that I do pageant competition. I'm seen as a symbol of beauty, and yet I'm impacting my community. So I'm showing girls, in fact, the name of my organization, be more than a pretty face. It's okay to be beautiful, but you have to really have more than that. You have to have that inner beauty and be a woman who will impact those around you for the betterment and for the advancement of your community.
So for young ladies who are interested in getting in pageants and entering pageants like you did when you were younger, what advice would you have for them?
I would say definitely do your research. Now you have the internet, so it's really at your fingertips. all the information that you need to get into any pageant, coaches, specialists, people to help you to develop. If you're interested in Miss Black Texas, I would tell them to visit the Miss Black Texas USA website. We go all the way from preteen to Mrs.
Okay.
So girls all the way from preteen ages, teen ages, young adults, even to the Ms. category can compete in the Miss Black Texas USA organization system.
Okay. And are any of the young ladies in your ministry showing an interest in pageants?
Yes, I have a few, not all of them, but I have a few young women that I come across that also have an interest in modeling or pageantry or just getting their talents out there and showcasing what they have. And so I come across that every now and